The first sprint session of the brand new 2022 season is in the books. And remember, if you missed anything at all from either today's action or from Friday as well at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, you can go back through the YouTube channel and find our recaps of all the latest news coming out of Formula One this weekend. But I'm Ollie Wilson, this is GPFans. You should hit subscribe down below to stay up to date with all of our content throughout the season. And let's dive into what happened on our first sprint race of the season at Imola.
So a wild sprint session at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix saw Max Verstappen claim pole for Sunday's race. The battle was always going to be between Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, who lined up first and second for the Saturday sprint session. Leclerc blitzed past a slow-starting Max Verstappen, who seemed to be struggling with his gears off the line and had to be looking over his shoulder going into turn one with the Ferrari ahead of him, but Lando Norris fancying a look on the Dutch driver after the poor start. Midway through the opening lap, yellow flags brought out the safety car as Pierre Gasly and Zhou Guanyu touched, sending the rookie driver spinning into the wall, while Gasly suffered damage to his front wing. Lap 5 saw racing resume after the Alfa Romeo was cleared away with, and Carlos Sainz, up 2 places from the start already, was tussling with Fernando Alonso in an all-Spanish duel. The Alpine was initially able to just about hold off the Ferrari as it struggled for pace at the restart, but Sainz wasn't put off, and by lap 7 he was clearing past his fellow countrymen and charging on again further up the field. Sergio Perez, a lap later, did the same move with DRS activated to get past the Haas of Magnussen that was struggling to get any sort of temperature into its medium tyres. The Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel was looking like a sitting duck by lap 9 as he dropped from 9th to 10th, with the Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas breezing past him thanks to DRS on the straight, while a charging Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez started to fill the wing mirrors of Danny Ricciardo in 6th and Lando Norris in 3rd respectively. While Norris was picked off on lap 11 by Red Bull's Mexican driver, Danny Ricciardo forgot about the Ferrari in his mirrors and slipped past the Haas of Magnussen as he continued to drop through the field. Clearly, mediums weren't the order of the day, and leaving him prone to the pounces from the cars behind. Sainz followed suit just a lap later on lap 12, and by lap 14 the Scuderia driver was flying past the McLaren of Ricciardo for 5th place in the sprint. Up front, Charles Leclerc was cruising just over a second ahead of the Red Bull, but by lap 17, Verstappen was suddenly back in contention as he managed to drop the gap between he and Leclerc to just over half a second. Graining on the front tyre seemed to be the problem for the Ferrari as Verstappen looked to line up the move over a few laps. While attention was on the front two, Carlos Sainz's incredible run saw him nip past Lando Norris to take 4th position before Verstappen on lap 20 came flying around the outside of Charles Leclerc going into the first chicane. The Red Bull driver made his move stick and there was no response from the Scuderia driver. So it finished after 21 laps of exhilarating action at Imola. Max Verstappen taking first and 8 points in the championship battle. Leclerc gets 7 points for his second place finish. Sergio Perez was able to move up the field to 3rd and take 6 points. Carlos Sainz made up 6 places to finish 4th and take 5 points. The McLaren duo of Lando Norris and Danny Ricciardo were 5th and 6th. Valtteri Bottas and Kevin Magnussen made up the top 8 and the final point scoring positions. Wrapping up the top 10, of course, for the grid for Sunday's Grand Prix were Fernando Alonso and Mick Schumacher on row 5. It took a while to try to put the pressure on, said Verstappen after his sprint win. But I think we were a bit better on our tyres at the end of the race, so I could get in the DRS and we had a pretty good fight into turn 2. It was fast, pushing quite a bit.
Max Verstappen has won a 6-year court battle with Dutch online supermarket Picnic after they used a lookalike of him in a commercial. The reigning F1 world champion had initially argued the use of a lookalike infringed on his image rights and had sought compensation of €350,000. Red Bull driver Verstappen began proceedings in 2016, and initially a court found in his favour, only for Picnic to overturn that judgment on appeal. Verstappen took the issue to the Supreme Court in the Netherlands, and finally, after 6 years of debate and legal cogs turning, a ruling has been made in the Red Bull driver's favour. With no other legal recourse open to Picnic, the matter now reverts to the Court of Appeal in The Hague, which will determine what level of compensation, if any, is due to Verstappen. You've seen the lookalike. Does it really look that much like Max Verstappen? Let's hope that he can continue to be successful both on and off the track with his battles in 2022. So the grid is set for Sunday's race. Who will be stood on top of the podium, though, come the end of Sunday afternoon. As always, we want to know your thoughts in the comments section below, and has this weekend changed your feelings at all on the sprint sessions in general? We've been getting a lot of feedback across Twitter and Instagram on that too, at GPFans Global if you want to leave us a comment there. And of course, follow along for the rest of the season by hitting subscribe down below and sticking with us here at GPFans.